Welcome to Obi-Wan Studios, and for today's video I thought I'd go over my top 10 most wanted sets to add to my LEGO Star Wars collection. Sets that I don't have built or sealed, waiting to open up and make reviews on and actually display as part of my collection. And over the years, as I've been collecting LEGO Star Wars, I've been fortunate enough to add quite a lot of sets that my heart has desired and display, like Anakin's Y-Wing behind me, General Grievous, two sets that I wanted for the longest time, and was so excited to finally unseal, build, experience for myself for the first time, and display. So these are the 10 top sets that I just really want to add to my collection someday, and let me know what your top 10 most wanted sets would be down in the comments. But let's start off with number 10. Alright, number 10 is the 7675 ATTE Walker from 2008, based on the Clone Wars movie. I absolutely love the Clone Wars movie, and I want to eventually have all of these sets that are based on it as part of my displayed collection. I think having them all together would just be really cool, and as a massive Clone Wars fan, they're just sets that I really want to prioritize. And two, I want to eventually get all of the ATTEs in my collection, and I only have the newest version actually, so I got a little bit of a ways to go in terms of actually completing the ATTE collection, but definitely this one is a top priority for me to add to my collection, and it's starting to get more expensive, especially sealed, so it's one that eventually, hopefully maybe next year, I'll add to the collection, but this one is number 10 for me. Number 9 is the 75021 Republic Gunship from 2013, based on Episode 2. I have a lot of really great sets based on Attack of the Clones, but this is one that I definitely need to add to the collection, and I think it's the best Republic Gunship playscale set that LEGO has also ever made, so it just would be a really great set to add to the collection, and also to complete some more of the minifigs based on Attack of the Clones, like Episode 2 Anakin and Padme, two ones that I just don't have at all. I have a few different Obi-Wans from Episode 2, but none of Anakin or Padme, so I really need to add those to the collection as well. But this is one that I just, one day, I'm going to be really excited to get in the collection. Number 8 is the 4002019 Christmas X-Wing, which was the employee gift for 2019. I think it's definitely a bit of recency bias from the Gingerbread AT-AT set that released a little while ago now, where I just want to add now the Christmas holiday X-Wing as part of my collection. It slowly crept up this list a little bit, becoming one of the sets that I think about a little bit more and like, oh man, how great would that be to have on display, maybe beside the Gingerbread AT-AT. And this is one that is incredibly expensive, sealed on the collector's market, and for very good reason. It was an employee gift. They didn't make a lot of them at all, but it's one that eventually I will get as part of my LEGO Star Wars collection and display, and maybe bring out as part of the holiday season, store it when it's not on display. Well, it's super rare, so I'll probably display it all the time, but you guys get what I'm saying. Maybe more predominantly display it in behind my videos once I do get it around the holiday timing. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. It's just a rarer set, very unique, just a really cool concept that is definitely one that will become part of my LEGO Star Wars collection one day. Moving on to number 7, it is the 75367 Ultimate Collector Series Venator Class Republic Attack Cruiser that released in 2023. This is one that is still on shelves right now that I just haven't gone out and purchased yet, but to me it is the most exciting UCS set that LEGO has ever made, as a massive prequel era and Clone Wars era fan, if you guys couldn't tell by this point. But it's one that I just never went out and purchased because I have no idea where I am going to actually display the set once it is built. But apparently, from kind of early rumors on sets retiring at the end of 2026, it is supposed to be one of those ones that's retiring December 2026 about. So it's one that I'll definitely have to purchase before it retires. But I might not build it right away because I just genuinely, like looking around the room here, I don't know where I'm actually going to display it. So it'll probably stay sealed until I can make maybe some more room in my kind of Lego room that I have going on, as it's slowly taking up more and more of this room as kind of a Lego YouTube studio. Maybe once I can just allocate some more space to this room for everything, I'll then build and display it and maybe live stream it on the channel or something like that. But it's one that ever since it came out, I just really want, because I think it's absolutely brilliant and so cool. I never thought we'd see the day where we got a UCS Venator, but here we are, and it's one that I just really want. I just haven't felt like I needed to buy it because it's still readily available and I just don't have the space. But it's one next year I'm just going to have to get. Number 6 is the 10143 Ultimate Collector Series Death Star 2 from 2005. With the new UCS Death Star diorama set that just released in 2025, it's made me even more now want the 2005 Death Star 2 as just a really insanely cool display piece of the Death Star in a big sphere. You know, you see how it's not completed yet. You have the big laser on it. To me, this is the best Death Star set that LEGO has ever made. It's just my personal opinion. I do really like the new 2025 UCS Death Star as a diorama. I think it's a really cool concept. It has some major flaws though, but it's a set that I think I'll still purchase at some point, hopefully, if it does go on a decent sale. I just can't bring myself to spend what LEGO's asking for on that set, at least at this point in time. But the Death Star 2, now I just want it even more because to me, that's kind of like the ultimate Death Star 2 display under the UCS kind of name. I don't know. I think it's a really cool set and it's one that I just dream of owning someday as part of my larger UCS collection. They're all kind of above the display shelves above me, so just be another cool one to add as part of that collection. Cracking the top 5 is the 10195 Republic Dropship with AT-OT from 2009. This is probably the most sought after Clone Wars era set for the vast majority of the community, and I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out almost having it in this list because it's one that is so just revered and so sought after, but it's one that I really do want to add to my collection, and I feel like it will certainly be just one of those highlight pieces where people who are in the know will see it and go, oh man, that's the dropship with the AT-OT. It's so cool. And it just truly is a really cool set. The fact that the dropship actually works with the AT-OT is just such an amazing concept for a set. And I remember watching Attack of the Clones for the first time and seeing the dropships even bringing in the AT-TEs into battle. I just thought they were so cool how they actually landed, dropped them off, and then flew away. So even just the dropship on its own is a build that I'd be really excited to have in the collection because I more so associate it with episode 2, but it's just a really cool concept of a set and one that eventually I just have to add to my LEGO Star Wars collection. Number 4 is the 4482 AT-TE from 2003. The early 2000s of LEGO Star Wars is the era that I grew up with and have just the most nostalgia for. Every time I see a set with that silver circular window for the box art, I just think, oh man, it looks so cool because those are the sets that I remember the most from my childhood. And I'd actually love to have a sealed collection of all of these sets with that box art. I just think it would be so amazing. It's definitely a goal of mine to have one day as part of my wider LEGO Star Wars collection. But this is the original AT-TE. I just gotta have it as part of my collection, especially next to the 7163 Republic Gunship, which I already have. Having the two original sets together just would be absolutely amazing. How can you not love the original AT-TE? It's one that I really, really want. All right, now we are getting into my top 3, and number 3 on this list might be a little bit controversial just because I don't think a lot of people consider it to be that great of a set or even that cool, but for me, it's one that I've always wanted and have yet to add to my collection, and it's the 7680, the Twilight from 2008, another one based on the Clone Wars movie. And look, I get that the Twilight, especially the build, it's not that great or even that interesting. There's not a lot going on, but as such a massive fan of the Clone Wars in general, it's one that I just feel like I need to have as part of my collection because the Twilight is featured so heavily throughout all of the Clone Wars. It's a set that I kind of feel like any serious LEGO Star Wars collector who's a massive fan of the Clone Wars, you gotta have this as part of your collection because it's so prominently featured throughout the series. So for me, just it's one that I have to have, and I just personally think it's cool because when I look at my LEGO Star Wars sets, it reminds me of the show, the movies, these moments, and I have that association from these sets to the actual Star Wars universe. That's what I love about LEGO Star Wars personally. It reminds me of all of these great moments and scenes. So for me, the Twilight is just going to remind me of a lot of awesome Clone Wars moments as well. And even with the Mandalorian movie coming out in 2026, getting Rod of the Hutt, as you know, this is another set that has him based on the Clone Wars movie, I just want to have him as well as part of my collection. I feel like these sets might get a little bit more popular and even more expensive with Rada now, again, being returned to the Star Wars universe as he's older. So it's one that I gotta add sooner than later, hopefully find it locally for a good price. But yeah, the Twilight, it's number 3 on my list. It's one that I've always wanted and just haven't really found for that right price point yet. Number 2 on my list is the 10018 Ultimate Collector Series Darth Maul from 2001. If you can kind of, I know it's technically classified as Ultimate Collector Series, but the big Darth Maul bust. It's so cool. What more can I say about this set? It's just a massive bust of Darth Maul. When I saw this set for the very first time, it just was like the definition of cool, and it's one that I just really, really want to display and just own, be able to look at and admire. It's one of the coolest LEGO Star Wars sets I think of all time personally, and to me this is one that is right up there with the Ultimate Collector Series buildable character General Grievous. That is just one that I think is such a cool display piece. It's one that I have to have. It's one of the only sets that I have ever really considered buying used because it is so unbelievably expensive on the collector's market sealed, and there was one locally at one point for a rather good price that I really considered buying, but I think this is just one that I'm going to have to wait and eventually buy it sealed, make a review on it, and buy a set sealed as well. I think it's really nice to experience the set brand new for the first time, and then as well I think it makes for really great reviews for you guys as well to actually unseal the sets and kind of take you through the unboxing process sometimes for these rarer, more sought after sets so that you guys can kind of experience it along with me. It just makes for really good content as well, but it's something that it's very expensive sealed. One day I'll add it to the collection, but probably not anytime soon. But yeah, it's easily the number 2 set that I want the most to add to my LEGO Star Wars collection. And the LEGO Star Wars set that I want to add the most to my collection is the 9526 Palpatine's Arrest from 2012. To me, this is one of the ultimate Revenge of the Sith sets. It's such an iconic moment. I remember watching it in theaters when I was a kid thinking, holy crap, Mace Windu and Palpatine are dueling. This is absolutely insane. And it's so surprising to me that this is the only version of this scene that LEGO has made. I was really shocked that in 2025 we never got a remake of the set in diorama or playscale form, just some sort of new version of the scene, because I feel like the fan base has been pretty vocal about wanting a just updated version of the set in some capacity of the scene. And it's one of those instances where to me it seems like LEGO's just either turned a blind eye to what the community wants or just didn't care to make it for some reason. Even though there was no official LEGO celebration for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, it would have been a set that the fan base would have really have loved to have seen, and they just didn't make it. So at least at this point in time, it's the only version that we've got, and the build, it's so cool. By today's standards, sure, it's aged. If LEGO did remake it, you'd expect it to be more filled out, have more going on, even just be a bit more built up so that it had more display value. But if you throw all of the minifigs in there, Palpatine at his desk, Anakin running from his starship trying to save Palpatine and stop the fight, it still to me would make for such an amazing displayed piece. It's such an iconic part for Revenge of the Sith. It's one that I have to add to my collection, and there is a third-party LEGO store that currently has it for sale sealed. I went and saw it and was just like, oh man, super tempted to buy it, but I just couldn't bring myself, at least at this point right now, to spend that much money on one single sealed set. I just have so many sets sealed still that I gotta get through. A bit of a backlog going on for sets I want to review, make content around. So once that winds down a little bit more, then I could probably justify, okay, let's get more sets now, add it to the sealed collection, and queue it up for some reviews. It'll be one that I'll get as part of my collection and display probably forever because I think it is so cool. But that completes my top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that I want to add to my collection the most. Like I said at the beginning of the video, let me know what sets you want to add to your collection the most. These weren't the most exciting sets or the best sets or the most expensive sets, but they're just the ones that I personally really want to add to my collection. That's what makes everyone's most wanted list unique. They're just the sets that you really want the most that you don't have yet, obviously. As always, you guys, my name is Justin. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you want to see me make more videos like this or ranking different sets, things like that, let me know as well. I've been debating making a Revenge of the Sith LEGO Star Wars sets ranked video. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. As always, again, my name's Justin. I'll see you guys on the next LEGO Star Wars video on Obi-Wan Studios.